Good evening. It is quarter of an hour after the market's closed and I'm just going to recap my trading for today. Decent day. I've had a couple of tough days trading. Yesterday was particularly tough because all my levels were just blown straight out of the water by a couple of 5-minute red down bars, and today I still stuck to my levels. It's about sticking to your levels and sticking to your plan, and so I'm just going to go through what my levels were and what my plan was today and my trades I took. So this is my plan from earlier today. This is what we talked about in the pre-market video. I was watching, let's just go into trading view. So this is the ES chart, this is the 1 hour time frame, and I'll just add this on the side so you can see the levels. So what I was watching was, let's open up Epic Pen as well. Right, we're there. So what I was watching was 52.32 break and retest along with the pre-market high. We didn't get anywhere near there. 52.08 bounce, so 52.08 bounce. Well, that sold off in the I didn't get near there. You kind of went straight through that area. So that was a failed trade. In fact, I think the pre-market we'll have a look. Let's go into the 5-minute for a second. Yeah, so 52.08. Yeah, so that's a pre-market 9.15. So that wasn't a valid trade. It broke through. It did bounce. You can see it bounced there, pulled back up. I think we were talking about this in the pre-market actually. So it did have a bit of a bounce. You could have scalped it, but you know, I didn't take that because it was before the market had opened. So let's go back to the levels. 51.90, 51.90, 51.93 bounce area. So this area here was on watch for a bounce, and you can see it went straight through that as well. So that was off the books. Yeah, that would have been a stop. And then we had 52.52 reject in the supply, so it was way up there. So we weren't anywhere near there. And then I edited my my plan. In fact, I was talking about it in the pre-market video, and right at the very end I said, right, I'm going to change some of my levels now before I turned off the live video. And we had the big red down candle, which I talked about in the video. We were looking at it just before the market opened, so I changed it. So instead I'm going to watch for the break and retest of the hourly trend line, which goes back to October. So let's go back to the hourly. This is the trend line, it goes all the way back to October 2023. And so I kind of changed my mind right at the end of the video because of the pre-market, the reaction in the pre-market. And so this is a trend line. You can see yesterday we touched it literally to the tick. A few days earlier we were within a few ticks, and you go back a bit more, came close there, kind of went through it there. You know, so it's definitely respecting this trend line. And so, yesterday was a big area, came in on that big push down, literally touched it to the tick and bounced. So I was watching that area, and then in the pre-market video I was just watching it live. This candle came in and I said, you know what, I'm changing my mind. I'm not looking for a bounce around this area. I'm going to look for a break and retest. And that's kind of my main trade, my only trade of the day. I did 2 break and retests, which I'm going to show you now on the 5-minute chart. I did get greedy. So the first time round, I took the break and the retest for the 5-minute there, and that was a great trade. Ran it down to there. Hang on, let's open up my actual Ninja Trader. So I've got my sim account running, so I've been doing some testing of some strategies. So make sure it's still in test. So ignore all these transactions. They're all part of my sim, and I would normally trade my paid account, that one there, but I'll leave it on that because when I close it, it will open up that. So let's open this up. This is a 5-minute chart. Okay, so this is what I was watching for. The break and retest. The trend line kind of went through that area there. It's not a very good line, I know, but let's draw a line. So this was the hourly trend line going through that area there. And so in fact the trend line came back down a little bit closer to there, but that's fine, we're close enough. So the trend line was kind of a bit like that. That's the hourly one we just showed you. And this is in the pre-market, we was watching it, we watched it came down, and I said, you know what, we had a bounce area there, but I'm not watching for a bounce now because it looked too strong. I'm looking for a break and retest off that trend line, and that's exactly what I took. You can see I went short there, and I had a really tight stop there. When I get into a trade, I get into 3 contracts to start it with, and I have 3 stops. I have one at 10 ticks, 20 ticks, and 25 ticks. Then I have 3 targets: 3R, 5R, and 10R. And you can see the first time it came in. Let's go back. So that's my entry there. That's 3 contracts, and then it immediately wicked me out. I was a bit tight there. And so when it came back down to that area again, I have a rule that if I've taken out my first contract, then I get back in. So I got back into that same contract a little bit later, so it wasn't a great price, but I was waiting for a bit more confirmation. So I was in. So that was my initial entry. That was my re-entry. It's only had 1 contract stopped out there because my other stops were up here. And so I was back into my 3 contracts, and I do try to look for an add. We came down, touched my 3R target, pulled back a bit, came back down, hit my 5R target, and then it never. And then what I did is I'm trying to maintain profit, and I want to try and hold on to a couple of R's. So I moved my stop from my stops, which were back at the high of the day. I moved it down to close to break even, I think it was. Yeah, around about break even, and you can see then I took a profit at slightly better. When it broke over this pivot, I got out. It's about 2R that was. So I took a 3R, a 5R, and a 2R trade on them, and it reversed. I did try going short again. I was looking for it to pull back, and I didn't like it, so I stopped out, which is a bit annoying. And I took another quick short there, thinking it was going to reject, and I got out of that again. So very small loss there, and just one little tiny loss there as well. But still, I gave back about 1.5 R, I think, on these. No, this actual stop out was more. This is about 2R. So I gave back a majority of. Well, I gave back about half of what I made on this trade down. It's a bit annoying, and I gave back a little tiny bit there. So I was okay. I was just slightly better than. You can see my 2 stop outs there as well. I took the full stop on that. That's my first one and my full stop. So this time I waited for proper confirmation. I was looking for a reject off the VWAP, and I was watching order flow as well. And that was the trend line, don't forget. So I kind of had a plan. I wasn't going in blindly. The trend line was going through like that. So I was looking for a reject back off that trend line. So it rejected, and as soon as it broke back below the VWAP, I got in there. And again, I had my 3R target, 5R target, and then 10R was about here. But I started playing around with my strategy, and I was playing with it would have hit 10R in the end. And let's just move. Is that like, no, my 10R was here, so it didn't get to my 10R. So, no, definitely did. Yeah, so my 10R was literally just a couple of ticks below here, so it did get there in the end. So when it came down, I was at 9.8R, I think it was, and I was looking to take it off at that point because I was aiming for double bottom. But in the end, I thought, you know what, I'm going to play with my strategies, which is why I had this open earlier. And I was looking to, in fact, I'll go to the strategy I created for, which I'm going to try Monday. So I've got a new strategy for Monday. I'm trying to automate the break evens a little bit. So this time what I've got is I've got order quantity of 3 ticks. So when I get in long or short, I'm going to put a stop loss at 10 ticks, 20 ticks, and 25 ticks like before. But then when I hit 3R or 30 ticks, it's going to break even at 30 ticks. So I've got a break even stop strategy, and then it will do the same. Then when I get to 50, it's going to move that to break even. Oh no, sorry, the break even is always at 30, and whenever the break even gets to 30 ticks, so when I take the first contract off. For example, when I was short here, this target here, this will make sure my stop will get moved to break even. So it's a stress-free and risk-free trade at that point. Like today, that's exactly what I did. I moved it manually down, so this will automatically move me down. So I'll just show you what it looks like. So profit trigger, 30 ticks, and I'm not trailing. I just want to get my targets. I may trial trailing as well, where you can just give it, say, trade 10 ticks, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. So this is kind of my strategy. Break even. This is my strategy. Getting free contracts, and then what I'm looking for, which I didn't do today, but I'm looking for ads. So I should have taken an ad just there. That would have been a great ad point. Pull back, and then the break of the candle. Yeah, I need to work on my ads. I've always had an issue at finding these ads. I got good at adding, and I'm only adding when I'm using house money effectively. So when I'm in the profits, when I only want to add. But this trade's a brilliant trade. So that's my entry, and my exit was always going to be the low of the day, but I was just playing around with that last order, and I got it trailing that candle, and as you see, as it trailed it out. That's fine by design. Bit of noise. I really wanted to get the 10 hours. Should have just left it, but I was keen to get this ATM strategy working, and that's it. So, and then that's basically all my trading for today. So that's my paid account, and then in my sim account, you can see all the testing I've been doing. I was testing it around this area as well. So if you ever do make changes, always make sure you use your sim account. Don't use live accounts. I have been using live accounts before in the past. But you know, you just want to test it out, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I was trying to test it now. I was away, but the market's kind of coming to a halt soon, so I'll just finish it off on Monday. Let's go back down to that one. Right, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to get notified when I go live on Monday. I also do a live order flow. That video there. And you can see at the bottom, it moves my microphone, so I'll just show you quickly. At the bottom, it shows you the latest news as well. But so that's the live order flow video, and I use that extensively. That lets me find my reversals. I'm watching the footprint charts, and I'm watching the divergence as well. So that's it. Have a good weekend, and thank you for watching.